Using Ahrefs AI features for B2B SEO, a 2025 guide. B2B buyers are doing the research before your SDRs ever hear back. In 2025, most B2B deals are pre-sold or pre-disqualified long before a prospect answers a cold email or takes a discovery call. Buyers research quietly across Google and AI tools, compare vendors, and align internally. Then they finally surface when they feel confident. If your brand isn't visible during that homework phase, your team starts every sales conversation from behind. The numbers make the shift hard to ignore. 66% of B2B buyers use internet search results to research purchases, and 81% start their journey with a Google search. That's not just an SEO stat, it's a pipeline stat, because the first sources they see often become the default shortlist, the language they repeat internally, and the objections they raise on calls. At the same time, buyers are now pressure testing claims in answer engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity, then coming back to Google to validate specifics. This is why we treat Ahrefs AI features less like content shortcuts and more like a decision engine. They help you identify what your buying committee cares about, match search intent to the right page types, and build content that supports both discovery and conversion. Why Ahrefs AI matters for revenue, not just rankings. SEO remains one of the most consistently compounding channels in B2B because it captures demand that already exists. In survey data, 23% of B2B marketers call organic search their most effective revenue-driving channel, and 70% say SEO drives more sales than PPC. When your pages rank for the right money queries, you don't just get traffic, you get prospects who are already problem-aware and often vendor-aware. This is also why leaning into AI-enabled workflows is becoming table stakes. 48% of B2B marketers are already using AI tools to optimize content for search rankings. The advantage isn't that AI writes your blog posts for you, it's that AI helps you prioritize what to build, what to fix, and where you can win against competitors without needing a massive in-house SEO team. Build an ICP-driven keyword universe. Start with buying committees, not keywords. Before you open Keywords Explorer, start by mapping the buying committee. In most B2B categories, different roles search differently. VP Sales, RevOps, IT Security, and Finance care about different risks, outcomes, and proof points. When we build an SEO plan that's meant to feed outbound, we tie each persona to the questions we hear in calls, the objections we see in pipeline, and the language that actually appears in your CRM notes. Then use Ahrefs AI suggestions as a structured discovery step. Prompt with job titles plus pains. RevOps reduce lead leakage. IT vendor security review. VP Sales improve pipeline coverage. And cluster results by persona and funnel stage. The key mistake to avoid is treating Ahrefs AI as a content factory. If you simply generate topics and publish at scale, you'll create thin pages that don't rank and don't move deals forward. Use AI for insight and prioritization, then let subject matter experts own the narrative and point of view. Finally, connect the keyword universe to revenue targets. Assign every cluster a primary conversion path: demo, pricing, comparison, integration, webinar, or newsletter, and a secondary internal link path to your highest intent pages. This is where SEO becomes useful to sales leadership. Instead of, "We published 10 posts," you can say, "We built coverage for 3 high-value committee questions and created direct paths to the demo and pricing pages." Use AI search intent to design the funnel, and stop fighting the SERP. B2B teams waste a lot of time targeting the wrong keywords with the wrong content format. A classic example is trying to rank a conversion page on a query where Google overwhelmingly rewards informational guides. Even if you get impressions, you'll struggle to rank, and you'll disappoint the click when it happens. Ahrefs' Identify Intents feature in SERP Overview helps you see how Google classifies the results in practice, so you can tag each keyword as tofu, mofu, or bofu with evidence, not guesses. Once you have intent clarity, build the architecture around it. Informational clusters should lead with deep education and clear internal links to commercial pages, while high-intent terms deserve purpose-built assets like comparisons, alternatives, integrations, and ROI pages. This is especially important now because AI overviews tend to show up most on early-stage research. Ahrefs found about 29.96 million queries in their dataset triggered AI overviews, and 99.9% of those were informational. If you run an SDR motion, whether in-house or through a partner, this intent mapping becomes a messaging advantage. When our team at SalesHive supports clients as an SDR agency or outbound sales agency, we want to know which pages and themes are driving discovery, so outreach aligns with what buyers are already reading. That's how cold calling services and a cold email agency stop feeling like interruptions and start feeling like the next logical step in the buyer's research. Use AI to make better decisions about what buyers want, then earn attention with expertise. AI is the co-pilot, not the content strategy. Create and upgrade content with Content Helper and Content Grader, quarterly, not randomly. In most B2B sites, the fastest growth doesn't come from net new articles. It comes from upgrading the pages that already have impressions and commercial value. Make Ahrefs AI Content Grader a quarterly hygiene ritual. Run your pricing page, your top comparison page, and your highest traffic use case guides through the grader. Then prioritize updates where you have visibility but weak rankings or poor CTR. This approach keeps your content roadmap grounded in outcomes, not editorial opinions. Use AI Content Helper during creation to prevent almost good enough drafts. Set the target keyword and intent. Pick the real competitors you need to beat, not aspirational ones, and write to close topical gaps with clear examples, definitions, and buyer-relevant caveats. The common mistake here is chasing breadth over depth. A page that answers the real committee questions, security, integrations, implementation timeline, ROI, will outperform a generic overview every time. When you do this well, SEO becomes a sales enablement engine. Your best pages become assets your reps can send, quote, and reuse in sequences. And they also influence what prospects believe before a call. That's how we like to think about it at SalesHive. Strong content makes every sales touch more effective, whether you're hiring an outsourced sales team, scaling sales outsourcing, or building a blended program with cold callers plus inbound follow-up. Get quick wins with Batch AI in Site Audit, and don't let tech debt starve pipeline. Technical SEO problems often look small but compound. Missing meta descriptions, weak titles, duplicate tags, and thin templates quietly drag down rankings and click-through rates. The challenge is bandwidth. Most B2B teams can't justify pulling engineering into weeks of metadata work. This is where Batch AI in Ahrefs Site Audit earns its keep by generating improved titles and descriptions across entire URL sets in a controlled, reviewable way. Meta work is worth doing because it affects outcomes at the top of the funnel. Websites with optimized meta descriptions see about a 5.8% higher click-through rate on average, which can translate into meaningful lifts on pages that already rank on page 1. If your team has access to patches where available, you can often deploy changes without waiting for a full development cycle, which turns "we'll fix it later" into "we fixed it this week." Avoid the trap of treating this as purely an SEO checkbox. Your metadata should reflect the same positioning your sales team uses: the problem, the outcome, and the differentiator. When we run Outbound for clients as a B2B sales agency and sales development agency, the best performing sequences often mirror the exact language prospects saw in search results, which is why aligning titles, meta descriptions, and outbound messaging is a straightforward way to lift both CTR and reply rates. Win in AI overviews and new regions with translations and brand radar. AI overviews and answer engines are now real traffic filters, especially for early-stage questions. If your content isn't structured to be cited, clear definitions, direct answers, strong topical coverage, and credible supporting detail, you may lose mindshare even when you rank. Brand Radar, as an Ahrefs add-on, is valuable because it gives you a way to measure whether you're being mentioned alongside competitors in AI-generated answers, which is quickly becoming as important as classic rank tracking. International expansion adds another layer. You can't just translate a few pages and hope. With Ahrefs AI translations and the AI keyword translator, you can build a first-pass localized keyword set, validate volume and difficulty, and see how intent differs across markets before you invest in full localization. That de-risks testing regions like DACH, ANZ, or LATAM, and it helps sales teams prioritize outreach based on actual demand signals rather than assumptions. The mistake to avoid is optimizing only for classic blue links while ignoring AI visibility. If AI answers consistently mention competitors and not you, buyers may develop a default shortlist before they ever hit your site. When we pair this insight with Outbound, whether you outsource sales, hire SDRs, or work with cold calling companies, your team can echo the same category framing and proof points buyers just saw in an AI summary, which improves trust faster. Operationalize the system, a monthly SEO to SDR feedback loop for 2025. The biggest performance unlock is removing the wall between SEO and sales development. Once a month, review 3 things together: the queries you're gaining visibility on, the pages driving the highest intent sessions, and the competitor pages that are suddenly climbing. This creates a shared reality across marketing and sales, so content priorities and outbound talk tracks reinforce each other instead of drifting apart. From there, turn SEO insights into practical SDR assets: subject lines that match search language, objection handling that mirrors what prospects read in comparison pages, and call openers that reflect real committee priorities. This is how pay-per-appointment lead generation becomes more efficient. Your team isn't pitching into the void. They're following up inside an existing narrative. If you're evaluating a cold calling agency, a sales agency, or B2B sales outsourcing, ask how they'll incorporate your SEO intelligence into scripts and sequences. If you want a simple next step, keep the scope tight. Pick one ICP, build a focused keyword plan, publish or upgrade a small set of cornerstone pages, fix the obvious technical issues, and track both classic rankings and AI visibility. The goal isn't to do everything with AI. It's to use Ahrefs AI to make faster, better choices. Then let humans do what wins B2B deals: clear positioning, credible proof, and coordinated execution across content and outbound.